called me at work over some damn powder on the floor?
I remember that.
I said, hell, if it was powder on the floor, you got socks up, step on the shit to get the powder up. Why is you calling me at work over some powder over the floor? And that
pissed me right back off.
And then I said, and furthermore, you got to wash your hands and you sit here bitching about some shedded hair on the sink. Rinse the shit down the sink when you wash your hands. Done deal.
So mind you, all this time, I did have a job before I moved there.
I never said you didn't have a job.
But I'm just saying, they might look at it that way. You know, that I didn't have a job, you know, at all, period.
But I said I mean, obviously you were working because we said in the other videos that you were helping pay for stuff. So it was obvious that you were working, but you just moved there. Yeah. So you had to leave that job to come there.
So I came to Starkville.
Jesus.
And when I got to Starkville, basically, you know, my whole thing with the job was, when I go on the interview, when I did have one, I'm gonna come as is. I mean, I didn't dress up. She was telling me the whole time, you gotta dress up, you gotta look presentable going into the interview, you gotta cut them naps off your head. I mean, just look presentable. Wear your earring. Yeah, don't wear your earring. Wear presentable clothes. But now I'm listening to my normal self, and you know, of course, my mom said, "Hey, that's your baby. You know, if they're gonna hire you, they're gonna hire you." And I went in, you know, off that stage, but you know, she gave me a tip on a job at Coca-Cola, and I went on ahead and applied for Coca-Cola, and I think they called me back. I want to say they called me back like that next day, and they went on ahead and hired me for, you know, Coca-Cola. And when they hired me, I was excited. I mean, because that was my first job there. I was
excited too.
I was excited, so I'm happy. Like, I see things possibly turning up here and, you know, going to the right direction. So I went on ahead and got everything, all my clothes ready for the next day, go to work. Went to work. It was in the afternoon time. It wasn't morning time, afternoon to night.
Yeah.
And
I was off that day.
Yeah, you was off that day. You sure was. And so I went on ahead and got ready to go to work. Excited. I'm cool. So I got there, and it was they printed out a list, and this list you basically run through. That's your day. You got to get all these items on that list. And I was a picker at Coca-Cola, so basically, you know, I just pick items. It'd be 20 Cokes, or you know, 20 cases of Cokes, or anything like that. You just go pick it on the list, and you put it all on the cart. Each order had its own cart, and I push this cart around and I go pick it. And I didn't get a description of the job fully before I got hired. The only thing he told me is I'll be working in the factory, and you know, can I lift, you know, a certain amount of weight. He didn't tell me that I was going to be, you know, basically ripping and running, walking around the whole entire day. But I did it for probably lunchtime, which was 4 hours in, and I was burnt. I didn't have any energy, and I'm like, I'm not built for these labor jobs like this. And I'm just saying to myself, I like, but we need the money. I got to do what I got to do. So, you know, after.
Can I stop you right there? Because the whole time while you're at work or whatever, I'm like, okay, he's excited. This will be a first day, so let me make sure that the house is like super clean. He has a good meal waiting for him when he comes home. You know, that he doesn't have to do anything. So I cleaned like top to bottom, upstairs, downstairs, washed all the clothes, I've mopped, I've done everything. Everything. I think I fixed like spaghetti and fish. I don't know.
Yeah, you did. I think it was spaghetti, fish, and garlic.
Yeah. And I cooked a nice meal, and I was just waiting for him to come home because I wanted to hear about the day. I was excited.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a cell phone at that time. No, we did have a cell phone.
Yeah, we did.
But he hadn't called me yet because we had a house phone too. So I was, you know, waiting for him to call or whatever, because it's about 5, maybe 6 o'clock by this time.
No. I sit in the break room on my lunch break, and I was like, man, whatever you got to do to get through this day, you do what you got to do. And I was like, I was saying it in my head, but my body physically wise was like, hey man, you ain't gonna make this. It ain't gonna happen. Because by then, I done picked up around probably 150 to 200 cases. I done went from nowhere to the most extreme job you could find. 20, it was just back to back, boom. Because some orders was like, hey, you got to get half of that pallet. That's how many cases you need to fill this order. And you need to put it over here on this cart. And when you fill up this cart, you need to wrap it up with shrink wrap. And then go get another cart and keep counting and do this order. So you got a sheet while you over here picking cases, you got to hit that sheet. Like you pick out 10, you need to hit that sheet with 10 to make sure that's what you got. But I was like, hey, I'm doing the best I can, but right now I honestly know I ain't gonna make it. And I just gave up. I just was like, hey, but here's the kicker. I called my mom. I didn't call my wife. I called my mom and let her know everything was going on. While my wife actually waiting on the call, I'm talking to my mom about everything. So I was telling my mom about everything. Of course, my mom, she's gonna try to protect me and everything and anything then. And she was like, well, if that's not the job you want and stuff like that, just leave. It's not that, it wasn't really that, it's not that simple in reality, but that was my mom being protective. And she was like, if you're not gonna be happy at this job, just leave. Time out. You're not gonna be happy at no job. Now see, my dad and my wife had to help me get to learn that. But on back to this. When that happened, I just left. I walked out like toward the end of the shift, didn't say anything, I just left. I showed up at home, talking to my mom on the phone, saying, yeah, I'm getting ready to tell her that I did walk off. And that's how I was.
So, like
I was talking to my mom on the phone when I walked in.
Yeah, so like I said, I wasn't expecting you to come home till probably like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, at least about 10.
So it's about 6:30, 7 o'clock around this time. So I'm sitting on the couch or whatever, and like I said, I had just finished dinner. I don't even think I've eaten yet because I was watching TV.
Yeah.
And I hear keys at the door, and I'm like,
what the hell?
Who the hell?
Exactly.
So, and he walks in, he's on the phone with his mom. And he's just talking.
Oh, I didn't even tell you then.
You didn't even acknowledge me.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the couch. You walk in, you're on the phone with your mom.
Yeah.
You go straight upstairs. And I'm like, am I invisible? Like, what's going on? Or whatever. So I'm sitting there like, okay, let me let him talk to his mom or whatever. And then he'll come talk to me. And he never did. So I overheard him telling his mom, no, because you told me that it was the guy that was over you basically talking down to you guys and may have called you the N-word or whatever. And at that point you was like, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I heard you tell your mom, yeah, I just walked off, I left. So I'm like, so you're not gonna be talk to me about it and tell me what's going on. You just go up and leave.
Yeah,
and knowing that we could really use that money or whatever. And I mean, it's not even well, I take that back. It was about the money. But because I needed the help.
Yeah.
But most of all, you didn't tell me, because mind you, this was the second time that it had gotten to a point where you told your mom something over me. Because the first time,
told my mom something important.
Yeah.
Over
the first time.
But yeah, I did forget about that part. When I wasn't picking fast enough for him, that's when he tried to get on my ass and start talking shit, and it was an old ass white man. And I mean, I didn't think nothing about it. I didn't care. But when he started really getting to my face and talking about me, like you need to hurry your big ass up and things like that, and then talking to another guy on the forklift and stuff like that about me, and that's when I was like, you know what, fuck you.
Yeah.
But that's when I really got down on the situation. I'm like, hell, it's not like I'm not trying. But
that was beside the point.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the fact that you weren't trying. It was the fact that you didn't talk to me.
Yeah.
And I was your wife. Newly wife.
Wife, yeah.
And the whole purpose of you getting the job or whatever was to help us as a family unit, because that was something that we were building. And so sorry to interrupt this video. I know you guys are into that story time and everything, but we have an announcement to make.
Freeze!
Alright, so for our 100th video, we decided to do a surprise giveaway. Yay! Alright, so for this giveaway, it's really just to show appreciation and our love and our thanks to you guys for rocking with us this time. And
just
giving us
fun with us.
Right. And it is basically open to the US only at this time. Sorry guys. We'll eventually branch out to international at a later time. But this one is going to be basically our Facebook giveaway. So there are only 3 rules.
What's those 3 rules? Run them to us.
Rule number 1, you have to be a subscriber.
So please hit that subscribe button.
And you have to stay subscribed. If you subscribe and unsubscribe, you will no longer be able to participate in any future giveaways. Rule number 2.
Run it.
You have to go over to our Facebook fan page, like and follow us there. Do not, again, same rule applies. Do not unfollow us there, because if you do, then you won't be able to participate in any other giveaways. Last and certainly not least, while you're over there on our Facebook page, leave us a comment. Let us know the very first video of ours that you watched, and what made you subscribe to our channel. That's it. But what do you win in this giveaway?
That's a good question. What do you win? So guys, we have for you a $25 Walmart gift card, and drum rolls please, a custom made Meet the Nelsons t-shirt. So that's what you'll win. And guys, I hope you enjoying the channel so far, and we love the comments, so keep them coming.
Yes, this giveaway will last for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So it'll last for 2 weeks. And at that point, we'll probably go live and announce the winner over on Facebook.
We will, yeah, we'll go live.
Only way you'll know if you're a winner is if you follow the rules to this giveaway. So thanks again for rocking with us. Now go ahead and finish watching the story time.
Don't judge me on this one. Don't judge me.
I didn't even say anything. I'm still sitting there like, if you guys are into like astrology or anything and zodiac signs and stuff, then you know Leos will hold it in and will not say anything until it boils up. So like I said, this was the second incident that he had talked to her over about stuff besides me. So the first incident was about the cable bill. You forgot that? It was about the cable bill because you were at home and you got the bill, and it may have been a disconnect notice or something, but you were talking to her about it, about how much was this, and then you guys were going down the list of all of our bills.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like there are some things that they just don't need to know. I mean, if they're gonna help us, then that's fine, but they don't have to need an itinerary of everything that we do. So I'm like, okay, that was strike 1. So then this one was strike 2.
I forgot about that.
So this one was strike 2. So I'm like, okay. At that point, it was boiling.
Yo, she bounced. She got up out of there.
It was boiling. So hold on. So like I said, he's still upstairs. So I think my shoes was, I had my shoes, maybe some flip flops or something.
Yeah, you had flip flops.
But I was like, okay, fuck it. I grabbed my keys, I grabbed my phone, and I left. I left. And I think I called my brother. No, because I didn't know where I was going. I just know I needed to get away. So I left. I was like, what the fuck did I get into? We haven't even been married a good 2 months at this point. I I can't do it.
Shit was getting deep.
I can't do it. I ain't built for this. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like riding around town, and I don't want to call my folks because I don't want them to know that shit's going on.
Yeah, shit hit the fan.
So I'm just crying. I'm riding around.
So basically, I had somebody to vent to, and she did.
Yeah.
That's basically what that was.
I'm like, cause I mean, I was already in Starville by myself.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had my friends and stuff, but I didn't want to be like, you know, talking to them about it because I didn't want to be the person to be like, I'm talking down about you. And then, I didn't want to give them that image that you weren't doing this because I knew you were trying, and that wasn't it. So like I said, I'm riding around, I'm just crying. I'm so pissed off. I don't even know where. I think I went down the highway and I came back around. I rode by Walmart. I was just
Dang,
around.
you went down that far?
Baby, I was out. And I think I did call my brother, and I hung up before I could talk to him.
Before you talked to him? So
I end up at the park down the street from my house.
Okay.
And I just went there and I backed in. I was just crying. I was praying. I was crying. I'm like, Lord, I can't.
And son told me to come look for you, but I was looking for you. But son told me, because I drove, matter of fact, I drove to Walmart. I drove near there, but I was like, nah, she ain't go that far. Because, I mean, this area, we ain't got too many spots to go unless you really know somebody.
He's still calling me. I ignore the call. I hang it up.
Yep.
I wouldn't even answer. So he leaving voicemail, babe, where you at? Where the fuck you at? And blah, blah,
oh yeah, I was hot there. Where the fuck you at?
And then so I wouldn't even answer. So by that time I'm just sitting there. I think probably like an hour and a half or whatever in the past.
I don't think it was that long.
I don't know how long it was. It seemed like it was that long.
I think this whole me looking for you probably took about 30 minutes, somewhere up in there.
No, I was gone for longer than that. That may have been the time that you went to look for me.
Yeah,
but I was gone longer than that.
So
you may have stayed at home thinking that I was coming right back, but I was gone.
Yeah, I probably thought you were gonna come right back, probably like another 30 minutes.
Nah, I was gone. Yeah, that could have been because I was on the phone. That's what I was about to say, because I had parked and whatever, and I was praying about it and I was crying. And the mother figure in my life at that point was my dad's ex-girlfriend. Yeah. And I remember calling her.
God dog, how's she doing? Okay, go ahead.
I called her and I was just crying, and she was like, "What's wrong?" Yeah. And I was telling her, I was like, "I don't think I could do this. I can't. I've done everything I can possibly do. He's not listening to me. I don't even know at this point if he truly loves me because he's not talking to me. And I can't. I had took my ring off. I was done. I couldn't." And she was just like, "This is just a part of the growing pains. You just gotta. Yep. I know you love him because you wouldn't have married him if you didn't." And you know, we actually prayed about it on the phone. She prayed for us.
Cause I heard that same thing. And my mom was like, "You gonna go look for?" I was like, "Fuck."
So I didn't know. Yeah, she knew.
I heard that same thing, and she was like, "You gonna go look for?"
When did you realize I was gone?
Shit, that's the thing. It could have been about 30 minutes, cause I was still upstairs. But she like, "You gonna go look for?" I had said, "Oh, she'll be back." I said, "She'll be back." Then I think Pop hopped on the phone. My Pops hopped on the phone, like, "You need to go look for." I had said, "Look where? What the fuck you talking about? Look where? Where you want me to go?" And that's why I told him. He said, "Well, you need to crank up your truck and drive until you find her." He like, "Pretty much that's what you need to be doing right about now." And he said, "After that, call me back later so we can talk." And that's when my pops was like, "Stop listening to your mother and keep your mother out of y'all business." And then that's when my brother-in-law told me the same thing. He said, "Keep them out of your business." He like, because any family or anything, when stuff is, this for y'all too, when stuff is over and done with and squashed,
you still need your family.
You still need your family, but your family, if they know, they're gonna keep bringing this shit up. Yeah. That's for friends too. Yeah. Keep people out of your business, because when you happy and fine, guess what they gonna do? Especially if they despiteful, they gonna bring that shit up. But yeah, I found her at the park.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting to because you keep jumping over. So after she prayed for us or whatever, and I was still sitting there, and she was like, because at that point you beeping in, and she was like, just go on answer and let them know where you at. So I was like, okay. And you finally called or whatever, and I answered. And you was like, where the fuck you at?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. He was like, what's going on? Why'd you leave? And
because honestly, it was at points then that I felt like I was doing all I could do, and I was to the point almost of giving up myself, because it was like, I came here, I'm not working, I'm not contributing, I'm not doing anything, and I'm at a dead end. I was more on got toward, not the depressed stage then, but I was close to it, because it was like I was just there. And that's how I felt. It was like, hey man, you just here wasting fucking time. And I ain't talking about, you know, just leaving you. It's like, I'm just not helping right now. I'll be more of a help if I go get my old job and stay at, you know, my parents' house and help stack up some money. That's how I felt.
You just cut me off.
I cut you off again. Go ahead.
We ain't even got to that. That's the wrap up.
Oh, okay. Well, you want to edit that toward the wrap up.
But no, so I found you was like, where are you? Blah blah. And so I finally told you where I was at. You was like, you been here the whole time? So by that time I'm talking to you and I see you pull up.
Yeah.
And you was like, what's going on? Why'd you leave? And all this other stuff. And I'm like, you seriously don't understand why I left.
I didn't.
And you was like, no. And he was like, well, are you leaving me? And I'm like, no, I'm not leaving you. And he was like, well, can we go home and talk about it or whatever? So we finally left and we went home and talked about it. And that's when I explained to you, I'm like, I felt like I was the third person. Like,
I remember you said
take me as your wife. It's like I was a roommate or something.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you have this bill, I have this bill. Mind you, all of our finances, there was never his and hers.
Yeah, it was
once
together.
we got married, our accounts were joined.
Yeah,
so there was no your money, my money. It was ours. If I'm broke, your ass broke.
You broke right along with me. It's still like that to this day. If I'm broke, we broke.
But it was, and we actually just sat down and talked about it. And he was like, I didn't see it that way.
No, I didn't.
And he apologized and everything, and you know.
Bottom line, I had a lot of growing. Yeah, I had a lot of growing up to do, and you'll see a lot more growing up through our stories.
Yeah.
But on both sides, we had a lot of adjustments to do.
Yeah.
Because
I had to get used to.
She had to get used to actually being with somebody and letting them do things for her.
Yeah. Because I mean, well, not so much as being with somebody that actually wanted to contribute.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Because in my other relationship, it was one side. But no, I do want to clarify, because I don't want y'all judging my baby. It was not like he was not working or was not trying. I mean, he may have been without a job, but it wasn't like he was without a job the entire time, or that he's never contributed or anything like that. And then at that point, when he didn't, his parents stepped in for his part. Yeah. So it wasn't like we were just going without. But I mean,
I could have did a lot more.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after that little rough patch, things did tend to smooth over. I think it was like a Band-Aid. We pulled one side of the Band-Aid out, and we still had the other side to go.
Exactly.
Because we still had some growing. We still had some growing to go, because our communication was not there. Like I said, it was that we're both Leos. So it was to the point where I don't want to say anything to hurt his feelings or to make him mad. He don't want to say nothing, things, because you would
I had a little
off.
potty mouth.
Yeah.
I had a little pop off stage. You know, I jump off. I had a little jump off stage.
At the wrong person. So I'm downstairs many times, and he probably don't know. I'm downstairs in the bed, man, fuck this shit. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I just took my ring off. Here, you can have this shit. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I swear. I was done.
How many times you took that ring off, baby?
It was a minute.
She ain't never catch me with this motherfucker off. No. I ain't never see it off, because I see it off. Hey, that's how you feel. Come on. Where we at with it?
I never took it off because I didn't want to disrespect you in that way.
And she knew I had that short temper.
Yeah.
It would have took me there and we wouldn't have made it.
No.
We would not have made it. I had a short temper because I don't know, I just been through a lot of crazy stuff and I just wasn't gonna tolerate it.
Yeah. But needless to say, you see us here today, and that's almost 12 years later.
And this a whole different me and her.
Yes, it's totally different.
You definitely will see.
So, but yeah, you
more
guys
of this.
Stay tuned for more of our story times and everything. And don't forget to
give us that big thumbs up, subscribe, and
share this video on all of your social media, however you see fit. Alright guys, bye.
Peace.
Hey family, thanks for watching.
Please be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Also, check out our latest video and be sure to subscribe.
Bye
guys.